Hi, AP Comp Sci students. Decided to create this video for people that really have no idea how to get started on this hackathon project. Now, there are so many ways to take this project, so this is by no means the only way you can complete this project, but I was trying to think of the basics and breaking it down. So to begin, you need to pick a table. I'm going to go ahead and pick the life expectancy table. I've looked around, and this shows the average life expectancy for many, many countries. It's bigger than lists here. Um, but what I noticed is that it shows the life expectancy in many different years, and so that's why it repeats the country. But I'm thinking that I want a drop down that lists each country, and then the user can pick from the drop down and it'll show them the average life expectancy. And so I'm going to only select the most recent data, which from what I can see is 2015 for this. So let me check Albania. Yep, goes to 2015. So you need to figure out what is the user kind of looking for in this data. You're going to have buttons, you're going to have a drop down for some. You need to go through this list and curate it somehow or find a piece of information the user wants because traversing the list is important. So I'm going to go ahead and import this list. And then at minimum, I know I'm going to have a drop down for each country, but I don't want to list the countries. So I'm going to find a way to code that. I know, I need to get a data set. So I definitely know I'm going to need the country name. So this is going to be the complete list of the country name. We go to show blocks. Oh, no, it's unhappy. Okay. Then I'll pull this over. Well, let's just start again in the show blocks because a lot of you use show blocks. I'm going to pull this over. This is going to be the all country list. And from the data, I'm going to choose the global life expectancy and the country. I also need to know the year because I'm only going to pull from 2015. So this is going to be the all year list. And I'll definitely want to know the life expectancy. So all life expectancy list, I'm going to abbreviate it that way. Great. Then I know I'm going to have only the 2015. So I'm going to say recent country list. This is my filtered one, and I'm going to set it equal to a blank list for now. I'm going to have recent. Well, I don't need a recent year list because that's going to be 2015 for all of them. So recent life expectancy list. These are my filtered lists. And so let me create a function called filter where I only want the most recent data. So filter. So I'm going to traverse the list, which is something you need to demonstrate going through a list and looking at each element and making a decision. So I'm going to do it. Let me do it off the all country list.link. And if at the index we're looking at, if that year, so if the all year list at the index we're looking at is equal to 2015, then append that piece of information to my recent country list. Append the all country list at that index, whatever country is there, and append to my recent life expectancy list. Let me, the all life expectancy list at that index. Okay. Let's run this. And there's nothing to do, but I'm going to set some watchers. What is my all country list? That is 7,000 pieces of data. What is my recent country list? This should be much smaller. Yes, 203. And look, there they are. So this is the countries. And then my recent life expectancy list should be the same number, 203. And that's the life expectancy. Great. Okay, so filter is working. And what I want to do is this dropdown, I want it to contain a list of every country. So I'm going to go to set property of this dropdown. And let me call it country dropdown. Oh, so I can go here, country dropdown. The options in that dropdown are going to be this list of data, recent country list. And when I run it, now this is a dropdown, and the user can pick from the dropdown, and it'll share the recent life expectancy from 2015. So let's create an on event. For if the country dropdown changes, then we're going to call a function or whatever I did there. No, thank you. Update screen. And let's define the function update screen. So I do want it to show the name of the country and the life expectancy. So let's go through and I'll have a text area, country name, and I'll have another text area, and I can make these more beautiful later. Life expectancy info. So when the user changes the data, changes the dropdown, we're going to call update screen. And so update screen is going to have to go through all my data and match the country. So we're going to have to get the country the user put in the dropdown. So let's call this country selected equals get text from my country dropdown. And now I'm going to have to traverse my filtered list. So my filter list is called recent country list.length. And what I am doing is I am looking for the recent country list at the current index to equal the country selected. Okay, so if it's going through the list and it finds the selected country, then I want to set my text of country name. Well, actually, the country name I know is going to be country selected. I can use this. And then set text of life expectancy to be from my filtered list. So recent LE list at I. Okay, let's run this. And I need to change this data. So let's try Albania. So something's not quite working. Country dropdown. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is a lot of data we're looking at. Do I have a console log? Oh yeah, we're going slow. Okay. I am here. So when I reset and run it, when I change countries, let's go to, yeah, it's pulling a lot of data, huh? Aruba. It is not doing the change. It is not recognizing that there's been a change. Oh, maybe it's just really slow because it eventually came. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now it's doing it. So how am I going to check this? I'm going to look, let's pick a country, Egypt. And let me go to this data and Control F, Egypt. This data is so big, it's slowing down my computer. Okay, so we're not going to pick Egypt. We'll pick one at the beginning. I'm actually near Algeria. Let's pick Algeria. So Algeria in 2015. Yep, that's the correct data. Let's go up. Albania should show me. Yep, nearly the same as Algeria. Interesting. So let's go back to the code. So what I have here to review is I've grabbed data from the data set. I've grabbed the country, the year, and the life expectancy. And then I've gone ahead and I've filtered that data because each country is repeated multiple times. Like they show this data for many years, and I wanted only one country, each country listed once. So I decided to go with the most recent, only when the year was 2015. Then add that information to my two lists, recent country list and recent life expectancy list. Okay, so here I am traversing the all country list, looking at each element and deciding if it's going to go on my filtered lists. I'm also setting the property of this dropdown to reflect. Oh, let me put it outside of that for loop. That might be slowing it down. I only want to set it once. Okay, that should help. Once I've got that, then I have this on event set up that when the user changes the country name from the dropdown, they call update screen, where we get the drop-down information the user selected and now traverse the filtered lists, looking for it to match the country selected and sharing the life expectancy data. Now I wonder if I reset and run it. Now it's much faster. Yeah, oof, that was my bad. This set property should not be inside of the for loop. It should be outside. Okay, so this meets a lot of the criteria of the project, but it doesn't meet, for example, the 3 screens. So you would have to think out a way to separate this information or to show some kind of welcoming screen, or maybe there you could get the highest life expectancy, add more onto this. But I hope this gives you ideas of where you can start this Unit 6 project called Hackathon.